Good afternoon, dear participants. It's 15 past 12, and we are starting. As far as I understand, everyone who wanted to be here at this session are here, and we can start. I am glad to invite all of you on this meeting. Today we launch online participants, and they will be during working of the session a little bit later. As usual, we understand that there are some problems with connection, but the problem of this question will be solved. So let us start. My name is Olga Soloida and work with Deputy of Manager Project of 10th April, and today we will give the present of a meeting. We would like to pay attention to some organization issue. In case of emergency, we ask all of you to go to the shelter. Organizer will wait us there at the registration, and they will show us where it's located. Also, I would like to pay your attention as the section work will last 2 hours, and we need to obey to the timing. And also, section worked on 4 blocks. So we will start. First block of our work sounds like this: how to raise the visibility factors of civil society and community, cooperation with community and populations. Wherever the advisor in UNHCR. Mr. Sergey, first question to you. What kind of role of local communities in humanitarian response? How local community will influence to key field office in UNHCR in Kiev, Ukraine? Thank you for invitation. Thank you for the question. I represent UNHCR Kiev region, which covers several regions: Kiev, Chernihiv, Sumy, Zhytomyr, Vinnytsia, and Cherkasy region. So it's a big part. If very briefly answer your question, of course, Ukrainian context is special because the role of local community is very important. There are plenty of them, and they're pretty efficient. And I would like to start from my personal story. When we have started the full invasion in February 2022, I was in Kiev and with several friends who stayed in Kiev. For example, was in Kharbaladze, who deals with advocacy. We have organized not NGO, but also initiative with several people. We had to deliver a product kit for aged people, for vulnerable people who were not able to have access to these products. We just mentioned it in social network and make networks, and then we make it. And if I'm not mistaken, we didn't have such institution. It was some, but we understood that we were useful. I'm sure that we were more efficient than big organization because we didn't have bureaucracy. We didn't have such processes, and we have such information, deportation, and so it means some local organization play a role in humanitarian response. We have several advantages. Then can be more quick in response because they have clear representation in community. They have understanding of needs of people. They directly communicate with the local administration administration. It was felt in year 2014 when starting the humanitarian response, the same year 2024. And then UNHCR especially communicates with the civil organization on local level and trying to realize working and they would like to pay attention to the next question. What kind of the communication channel with people? What works? What's in works better, and where do you have gaps? We have several speakers. And we have new speakers who will better in the communication, what things will be working better, what things will be worse. So I will say about my experience, especially about 2 or 3 years when I was working for UNHCR in Kiev field office. We have a privilege in community organization. We have more capacity to do very simple things. It's notification and some narrow local chats to make some direct meeting with people in complex settlement. If you would like to know the people who low digital literacy, we understand that not everyone can use Facebook or Telegram. And local organization have the contacts with the local administration, and have through the Center for Administrative Services, they can spread their activity, what kind of services and can be given, and what kind of use of them for the people. And the things which works good, I would like to hear the opinion of other people from panel discussion and from the things that I think it could be improved. And I think it's about not only NGOs, it's about international organization where there is no some agreement in communication between different organizations. I have started that Ukraine has plenty of such organizations, good of course, but if this organization communicates without agreeing the action between each other, in some moment people are confused. They don't understand who is responsible for what and whom to respond. And it's possibly not the role of an international organization to provide this centralization. It would say the observations that I can do. And the second thing, I think we need to work more from feedback of people, this feedback from people which is not always present in communities when some communication take part, but you don't understand how efficient it was, or we need to work on, or we need to change something. But I will say one more time, it's not only about the civil organization, but it's also about international organizations. Thank you for your response. Do you have some successful cases from visibility? What can be useful for other community? And I would also like you to share the practical experience with the organization. Yes, I have been answering to your question, and UNHCR trying to work with a local organization. We know that we work through the partners, but the partners are usually a big organization, and we also have the practical experience, direct experience with small organization on local level. Especially you can observe it at the beginning of a big humanitarian operation year 2022. Yes, concrete example on Zhytomyr region. Korostain community has NGO Dobrotvor, and they, before year 2022, they deal with help to Chernobyl or other vulnerable category, and it was revealed that it was an NFI, and it means that non-product items, and UNHRC we did the pillows and kitchen kit for such organization, and they made this with the community. It was more efficient to do it their own. The same we provided how to do it in Belosarkiv region, and the thing which is good is that we didn't lose the connection with such organization. Dobrotvor, one of the community which is provided by Crimea Source, Dobrotvor, we know they have advocacy of living. So Sonia, who came here to the Bila Cerkva, has a hub for IDP. Have some building construction and such cooperation. We have it's continuous, and we have another vision with some region, Lebedin. They have such NGO, a woman of Lebedin, and they have wide spectrum of help for lonely women. And when we, with the Proliska of our social society project, so this have some, they overcome the training of Proliska and have such social facilitator, who through remote village and gives a consultant for everyone who need it. It's a unique case for us. It's successful. I can go nearby Porush, and it was created in May 2022. It was IDP in Kiev who used to help our other IDP who came to Kiev. Have small initiative grown to big NGO, and they have implementation partner Ukraine. They make unify kids, and then for protection, work with the children. Kids, they will be responsible for community based. It's not translated as a protection at the level of community in Kiev. Thank you very much for your experience. Tell us if you have a question to the speaker from our audience. I will give a microphone to you. Thank you. My name is Valeria, humanitarian of protection. I have such a question concerning your vision from what is your opinion? You have to look the algorithm of referral between community organization and the authorities of municipalities. Thank you for the question. Actually, I could think of it when you speak about the gap in communication. It's one of the gaps that we should remember. When locally NGO can give some kind of support, they don't know how to referral. And actually, it must be a common work both for such organization and community and international community to create the clear mechanism for them to understand how to refer people with their needs. In principle, I think that here the leading role is made by community, because the people who stay the territories of community, and this service will be given at the level of community, and says about the needs of community. International actors are present here, which can help here. I would see it as a system platform which would be created by the community. It would be monitored by the community. Do you have in your experience such successful referral practices of creation of such mechanism? I have to think of it. It seemed to me something similar had been created in Ivanki Gramada Kiev region, because they had plenty of needs especially year 23-22, because it was the first which had occupied, and internal plenty of international organization has entered there. No one understood what who is responsible for what. It was plenty of organization here, since here they have the clear system. So the deputy of village council, I have worked it. They have clear list of international list Ukrainian who they had provided such help, and they referred. They had such contact, and the list of such list which can be given to such organization. Thank you. Do you have some more question to our speaker? Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Very good words. I would like to develop maybe such topic which is connected with general topic of where the protection starts and where ends. And I would like to ask you, from your experience, what do you see, take into account that we have been standing for how the context is being changing in humanitarian aid, and how it protects on the activities on levels of communities, which with different activities. In one region, we have crisis reaction, and another region is recovery, and is different. What is successful and what is not, and what kind of different decision for different regions we have, take into account different situation. You are absolutely correct to say that the situation is different in different territories, and this is even on the example of how regions that we are doing, and things it's different in Sumy regions, the things that we do in Vinnytsia region. And here we must understand the global trend, and you must be honest to say when unfortunately financing and internally communities are not will become reduced. It's some kind of political interest to law interest of Ukrainian context in the world, and you should live with this, and you should take into account this when you will plan another activities. And that is why it's very important to make this transmission from full cover of international organization for giving this to local NGO, and the capacity must be strong enough that in case when the organization will away from this from Ukraine, this local NGO could continue this role. Of course, communities must also play a big role here. And the first question of yours was, it's very complex decision. What kind of, depending on situation, in different situation of safety situation, and what kind of activities from your point of view were more successful or not, take into account of decreasing of the financing. It's about the protection of level of community. It seems to me that now the most efficient is great reaction respond when we talk about such pre-front line. When we talk about Sumy or Chernihiv region, and we have local NGOs, they have extra respond concerning the given and sustain such activities. Unfortunately, we have to continue, and we have enough possibilities to continue. if we talk more about long term, you need recovery. We have some gap. We have lack of readiness to come on this stage. Thank you. I don't see any risen hand. No questions. Thank you very much. And we ask. I know we have online connection. We have representatives of Moleskovsky community, Kirovograd region. And you're right to say, okay. We have, and I to share the Lisa Postoluk, the Secretary of Village Council. And Mrs. Inna, the question to you: how local community cooperate with the information policy and communication? The question to you. Community organization is an initiative of people who decide to join together and create this organization to solve such problem. But we cannot solve anything without cooperation with local municipalities. So from the beginning of work, we always have cooperation. And we have the memo. And during this time, when we work since the year 2018, he has supported us. Especially we had the support when we had the full invasions in year 2022, and we joined the initiative of municipal council when we created the hub and resource center, and we had upon ourselves the great mission, important mission to make created the chat in Telegram, and then we followed this hub with the people, and then through our application we have selected the people and we provided the humanitarian support. But without we couldn't realize it because they give us people and provided the products for people who needed this. And one more time we had plenty of project. I cannot say that yet it had one more dot due to the 10th of April, 10 квітня, we have won the grant and we have realized the project of informational project for IDPs. And we also have such territory, and we have since this and you've given the resources and recommendation, and it was without so all projects that we have made with city council. Thank you very much. Could you please tell us more information about the creation of this information portal, about the value of this, and why it can become such popular? If people are active to use this hub, please tell us. I say year 2024, 23, people were active to use it because we had plenty of people who were not aware of our territory. We had special pictures, special pages where we have our institution to which context and how you can use it to help internally displaced people. Besides, we have always information which was needed for IDPs, which is actual for them. And we have with head social protection, and she always given this information, and we have placed it in this portal. But year 2025, we have seen that we have plenty of people here, but now they have of organization together with the city council. We have a portal, we have this page and this website. This is the same way we have people come here and they see this portal and they function and they know about this, and we want to change it into the mode of online newspaper. If you look for funding on this, according to all news of our community should be published there, and such official paper of municipality which can work with together NGO, which can be useful for our people. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, I have heard plenty seen about such information portal about the creation. I would like to say that during that full invasion, approximately 83,000 of internal displaced persons have moved to Kirovograd region, and if you will send me definitely what kind of quantity of IDPs is staying in Malevskivska territorial community. As a territorial Malevskivska community stay approximately 1,500 IDPs, and they are registered officially, and for today they have a status of IDPs who have the category of Malevskivska population. I would like to add concerning the portal, the story of the portal was as organic, and it was the salvation of the issue of provision of needs of IDPs. Year 2022, as a territorial Malevskivska community was plenty of people. Malevskivska community at this time was registered plenty. More than 2,000 and a half internally displaced person constantly came in need for social services and for payment for funds for internally displaced people. And in how we can come to this portal, we have the civil organization, the Facebook official Facebook and official page about space. When we had a partnership organization, and we have Viber chat, Telegram channel, and when we understand that we had different forms of communication, we need to bring them to the single platform, because one of internally displaced person came, and the system of social protection and work with the internally displaced people, the territory of our territory was made both in center, also in the part of 4 district where the remote place. We have internally displaced person who could have all of the social services, but we couldn't capture everyone. And in order to capture people, especially vulnerable people, low mobilities, people who come here and were in such a stress condition, who were looking for the support, didn't know how to find the support in order to capture as much as possible all of the people who came to this demarcation line. Active, it was the idea, has often mentioned portal his acute. As we are partners, it was decided to place the reference in order for our people, internally displaced people, could be able to use it. In fact, the quantity of people, both like internal displaced people, we know this. It's NGOs, and we have cooperation both of social services. When I talk with such people, is not in our register. We have plenty of people who are not registered, but they are have a problem with documents, and we know about this, and social service will get to know about this because people called us and we got specially called here, and on the website, even Facebook part, and the people call and say, help us, come and help us, and I will tell you, and we will announce people, but in general, we have some question in order for the authorities, local authorities. We can make some conclusions that one side we constantly exchange, and we have a constant exchange of information, and we can feel the white dots, and they can give the information to us about some dwellers who came to the territory of community and didn't have the authority, and didn't have attention. It's such a terrible mental condition of people. It's very frequent that such situation come, and people came, they placed somewhere, but they were not able to organize themselves and make themselves come to them actively, not register, don't find the stable income resources. This fulfills their own needs. And then they didn't plan their life. And that is why it's very interesting for us to have the NGO, because it will work in with our dwellers, also with the categories of internally displaced people, have more to have. Besides, we constantly cooperate with NGO when we create different form of NGO. Also, when we have the form work of, we have IDP council, we have council for safety issues, authorities of municipalities is such a council system which are created, and we usually have the NGOs to solve the question, and also when we make the proposal to authorities, they are actively have possibility to get launched into the formation of this position to governance decision, and they influence directly for decision making in our communities. It's also the joining of our assets. They have possibility to work with assets, and we know about the cooperation of community, about NGO and April, and we have possibility to help information, and we have possibility to help when we talk about the technical, about for giving transport, organization. We talk about mobilization. We launch involve our people from people of social protection, talk about status things, district. We have remote points, we have launch mechanism of people who know of our territories. Communication, it's a people who want to cooperate to reach maximum results. Thank you very much for your experience. Please tell us, do you have questions to our speakers? And for this example, we have as a small community of Kirovograd region joint efforts together with representatives of IDPs and to help to integrate. I knew that you had technical problems, but you managed to do it. Thank you very much for your experience. You can stay with us. If you will have some question, write me in the chat, and they will come to me. About the role of NGOs on level of community. We will talk with a representative of NGOs which come to the NGO 10th of April, representatives of Dnipro region who support you in community. Alaginik Ludmila, head of source of support, General Petremko and Yanushevich Gankets, head of inspection for issue of employment of people, Dnipro Council. And also I invite Patrusheva Natalia, head of Agida Center NGO, and Yulia Kulik, head of social of labor conscious issue department and social policy of Krivorusk Municipal Council. Maybe it could better to come closer. Mrs. Ludmila, the question is for you. You have microphone nearby you. How NGO facilitates the improvement of social structure of the community? Maybe the simplest thing that I can say that our organization being oriented for IDPs settlement issue solving who live in Dnipro city. We have conducted plenty of events focused on pricing of the activities IDP. We started to do like a volunteer initiative from the first day of war, and we see how the condition of people has been changed when they have been, as like a computer which doesn't operate. They started, they come back to their territories, then they start to be active, and the initiatives start to extinguish. And we trace that the activity of such will not be active if people will not be active in society. That is the reason why we have plenty of meetings with IDPs, and we provided in cooperation with local council. We make raise awareness and proficiency of representative of community. We provide different programs, social integration, both economic and social. We work out the plan of social integrity and also work on this. So plenty of roles, but not all NGOs is working in the same things. We are working it with a network of our partners and in cooperation with the local city council. Thank you. One more question to you. What kind of instrument do you use to raise awareness about this important social issue? I Once again, it's a meeting with IDP, it's training, it's a website, it's work with consultative authorities, community. If you'll say about NGO, we have been creating at the beginning of the war, we were initiative group. The source of support. We are working out of the digital content for IDPs, and we have created all Ukrainian shelter community, where we have more than 50 organizations, where 70 places of temporary stay, and we work such cooperation. It's not necessary for us to work on the same issues, but together we will facilitate each other and maybe practically, maybe I will make some cases. What was the beginning of cooperation with City Council? First of all, at the beginning, we didn't aware why do we work with it. So it was a soul bubble. It's a Dnieper Center of Dnieper. When the Council of IDP has been created, it is that we don't understand why we need the, but City Council don't understand what the community sector here is doing. And in the strategic session, we have been sitting at the same table, and we understood that the council is legitimate, its legitimacy, its legal state, and status expertise, priority respond, and its understanding about problem of people, because we were with them, and then it became clear to us that we cannot work without each other, because our efficiency become lower and lower. And there's a good example that we would like to start from. It's about such things when 195 provision has been adopted about the creation of IDP for the fund of in the Dnipro city. Didn't plan city in Dnipro city, and when we paid attention to the community, we said that we needed and the need. We don't have this fund because it's pre-frontline city. We cannot do it, and we're starting to explain that it's about transparency, and you don't have the fund if you don't have the register, don't have the request, and fund will not appear. And has cured us. It was the first cause, and people understand that I thought we understood that we make a common meeting with internally displaced people. We started to clarify that you need to be registered, but today you will not have this housing, but as soon as you will be able to do this, the city council will be able to do the subvention system. And then it was a second step. We have the kindergarten. The city had given money to create the project for 150 people to make that social house, and when they give documents to the state and they agree, they have some agreement about subvention and such a global thing. And the next short case, it's about the things that we has launched such initiative about the service card of IDP. The idea of such service card is about the internally displaced people. will have the discounts being registered in electronic services from local manufacturer, and local manufacturer has benefits from this because providing the income, they will have the client, they will apprise the sustainability of their business, and they understand who will have their donation. They launch the pilot. How do you think how many people get registered to such interesting idea in chatbot? No one thinking. 300 of people, 300 of IDP has been registered, and we refer to social protection to the city council and region. They understand the initiative, they understand that it's economic sustainability, and this is development of the region. And in a week, due to the consultment and the spread of information, we have 3,000 of IDP. They are IDP, and we make a new project in order to share this initiative and raise it. And I think that I'm very glad to have my colleague and partner here, and we cannot do without each other. Tatiana Yanushkevich, the representative of City Council, and I would like, Tatiana, ask you, for example, of our integration event that we had in Dnipro City. We name it where dreams can build cities. How it happened and your vision from City Council view. Cooperation has happened. We are waiting for the examples. Cooperation has happened, and whatever kind of Wendy has told about it, it was some first common project which was realized in the Dnipro city in order to involve all the members of families of IDPs. We have joined it together. It was the first one. It was made in Ukraine. As a matter of fact, that this might have used to give the possibility for employment and possibilities which have people to get grants. And in order to understand how to name this, and a labor market is restriction. It's about work only, but they talk about different grant from opening of business for several charity fund. I mentioned this in information that we will place it in the conclusion. We decided that it will be the market for possibilities to provide the possibilities of communication of children and parents. We have joined it with a cool playing ground, and more than 500 people came, and we calculated only adults, not children. And here you could get to know all of the vacancies in Dnipro city, to get all of the information. What kind of grant can you say to retraining, on short training, and we have our technical, we have some council. And I would like to say, generally in our city we have 177,000 IDPs. Is efficient, and we have we think that we have approximately 100 of IDPs, and also to imagine our city, I would like to mention that we have 30,000 employers, and almost all of them feel the deficiency of staff. Now we have approximately 500 people in the city. It's officially employed people who are hired specialists, but people there is a lack or the deficiency of staff. We don't have the employee who wouldn't look for the employee, but the one who recently came, of local people or girls who come from the maternity leave that cannot perform such duties for that is provided good salary for this purpose, but they need some retraining. So that is the reason why we have joined all these equations that we have made as a market of possibility, and we give possibility to get to know the vacancies and to get clear, to get grant, to retrain. And it was, as for me, it happened as different events has come, how many people how many interested it was. It was vivid discussion, and plenty of people discuss. I have seen for the first time so many reflection, many people, and despite this period that before it was serious shelling of the city, and we were worried that people will come because almost all day we were trying to stay in bomb shelter. And I also would like to say that this event happened with the help of IREX. It's a charity fund, a stabilization support services, and with this great support of State Department of United States of America. And continuing the topic, how together this organization, local council, when this coordination council of IDPs has been created, it means this is this platform where possible this has financing, budgeting, program, and there are some about the reaction in the organization. Such possibilities are also available, and if we join together informational and organizational ability, establishing of some weak places where you need to have such reaction in order to adapt this. If we need such organization, we need to have the financial possibility, and it's in coordination of we this and if some kind of event is planned by the municipalities, we provide municipalities to establish how they see us and these activities. And the thing that I wanted to say now, it's very important issue, it's employment, because it's one of the question of the integration of IDPs into the life of the city to become the real city dwellers. It's also about budget on all level. It's about state budget, and as for military fee, it's in effect the support of our servicemen. It's very important to employ to get employed those people who hesitated and didn't understand or used to have another material possibility not to work. And now we all need it. We have been created in March of 2022, have the Telegram channel in our city. As we were volunteers from the first days of war, all of municipal council has become volunteers. We accepted those people who through our city invest for these territories from where they had such territories. Our director has plenty of people, but we as a representative, but to feed, to have drink, to give heat, we wouldn't be able to do it unless we felt the support of civil sector. And I don't want to list everyone because there are approximately 20 of them, and someone will get it close to heart if you will not remind them. But we remember all of them. We also have this shelter, but not a quantity of people, and we also give the support and the help. We communicate. Now the question is, we have different moments, and of year 2005 we understood that we have a Telegram channel because we need to stay some people and to get employed here. With the help of challenge, the channel is directly the structure was 15,000 of people. It's executive committee, it's a communal organization, a communal institution, approximately 100 people work in the structure of people. In our inspection, we have 2 people. IDP is the head of department of work, and another is the head of a legal department. And it means that we have integration even to the structure of local municipalities, because qualification people came, and we had, in effect, we have provided this for these people. And now, in order to this organization, and international organization in a part of our main power to provide the employment in the city. We have a website. Who is looking home? You can leave your CV there with free of pay, both for employers and the one who looks for the job, and about what kind of you can come. And that is the reason one. And we have such a fund when we have such information resource, and we have meaning because we can do this reaction. You have very good coordination channel, and you coordinate the work in order to avoid duplication, how to aggress, in which, thank you very much. And today we have the representative not only of Dnipro City, but also Kryvyi Rih. Mrs. Natalia, the question to you, how your NGO encourage the social facilitating of the community? I represent the organization Gida Center. A little bit closer to the microphone, please, which was founded in the year 2018. But as a volunteer, we start to work year 2000. We become the member of the headquarters, and for the Lord Mayor becomes the work as a refugee center, our IDPs, and we provide services not only for the IDPs, but only people when we start working. The majority of our IDPs who came into our city in year 14, but now we have more than 40 who provides the multi-sector support. It's both the mental support, psychological support, it's a work, it's organization, it's advocacy, medical, lawyers work with us, social specialists works with us, and we we did the first need assessment. People come to us for the support. More than people come to here. We come here. That is why we say, would like to say that they come with both like volunteers. They come, they invite us to see, case management and social work, and that is why more than 40 trainings, and now we have psychological support, especially when you see they have over a city more than 130 kilometers, that there is a noise that come from one point to another point is very difficult, and take into account to facilitate the structure, we enclose the agreement. We have an agreement. It's Krivorik citizen. When you walk, when you have military administration. When we have meeting, we can work with different scenes, be focused on some it's similar direction. So the organization said another thing. You need to make with another organization, and we are able to involve organization, local business, and NGOs. I would like to say that we have plenty cities and private zakat which helps us. Some people, when people come without documents, it's a Proliska who brings people to us, and from the territory when we have the 10th of April, another organization. It's a lot of different organizations that we work together, and we local organization have a lot of things in we know people when we need to solve this question here and now. So local organization has an entrance point both for humanitarian aid, but also gives the social services provided. And if you have a lack of specialists, all authorities, it's a center for social services, and for help we have some community organization. I would like to say if some kind of activity we have during this war, we also work not only in Народный дом, we work also to some incoming which happened in our city. Here, you need to provide support here and now. We need to give our psychologist. We launch bring some helping some windows, some consequences of incoming. This work is planning to be provided very briefly. So incoming come and we need to have this, and if we need help not only in such organization, and we need such thing and with such international organization. Have such support, and we have to say about some conclusion about the program. And in our city now, we have realized more than 20 projects on a total amount more than 120 hryvnias, and we are conducting a project of fund of social investment, international DRC and DSA social. We have provided social services where we have gender-based violence, domestic violence, infrastructure, and information support. And we have made plenty of advocacy, make some leaflets, and give a survey. Social workers awareness and where we should work, and it's I think that I see you have plenty of positive cases, plenty of things. It's very interesting for me. Because the support of Mrs. Yulia, representative of a local council, want to ask her. Sorry, started to give this time is passed very quickly. We have a lot of speakers who needs to have information. Mrs. Yulia, how the social structure of community and the role of this both NGOs, local, have such support from one point that we are of work. And they are more humanitarian. From the beginning of the Gida Center, we have started our work year 19, but they have been working in year 15, but tight cooperation has become from year 2019, when they have started with Ukrainian Fund of Social Investment. They started to the the second question was that they have to defend the rights of IDPs, and was for the proposal. Takes the it gives his push, it gives the result, and internally displaced person have the right to vote on a local election. And they also have the communication. Was have plenty of officials, more than 63,000, and we have more than 50,000. They were registered. After full invasion, year 2022, we have a memo between Agida Center. Agida Center has in the that organize a point of organizations. It's such organization which has been created by IDPs, and this IDP was supported because we made the role of registrator, and they spent time and provided humanitarian aid, they work psychological, and they give equal to equal, and they have such stage of this, and they knew how they can help. Any NGO which is working at the territory, it's such a global input where we cannot help the municipality. They cover this wide gaps, and they support, and the main work to make such synergy and cooperation, it must be, you need not only listen to, you need to hear what NGO can say. It can be not only on such criticism, it's both like criticism, and it can be constructive offer, and we must react. We have the same grievance in all state, and only together we'll move forward, and we will have some questions to our speakers. I have a question maybe to Ludmila. Mrs. Ludmila, you have remembered about your mathematical cooperation about 195 in the IDP house, and in our office has been working a lot in this direction, and I have such that provisions of IDP were not aware how it will be working, and when we have been communicated with community, when we wanted to make some repair, we were told that we don't have object, everything for servicemen, or provided some kind of object. They come in some for 30 years, they've been used, and we have plenty of the repair. And when you have some object, we face the problem about what the dwelling fund was a problem that the community, especially if they have documents, they didn't know how to do it, and when they had some question, when people, internally displaced people, were not ready to pay for the utilities, and it's more than they expected. And for example, such objects that you have, maybe have some other objects, and I can say the Dnipropetrovsk region, as I was told, I didn't learn the matter. It was, we had plenty of shelters, private property. It's 26%, more than 50% it's were created in state property, and some particles communal activity, communal property. And I, as a representative of civil secretarial law, Petrimke, source of support, okay, with inventory commission for inventarization, 40-50. What thing I can say? The law will not work. I will be honest. It's not popular thing, but the law does not work. Those who has the state authorities, they see, they watch that you take the worst buildings, register them in order to report. And our role to say that the prefront line, the prefront region, donor will money into what you have seen the Dnipropetrovsk city, in Western city, and we would like to have some needs subvention, needs some subvention, and communal specialists have found such a house, and they need to make capital repair. They need to have some current. Then why have such common cooperation and support? The civil sector, as it's not restricted to the free, it's focused on the result. And our action respond to the question, what should you do to reach the result? For example, we have created our shelter for 160 persons, and we just know that we had free building of private sector. It is not used in the activities medical institution. We come, we ask, and it was made. Unfortunately, the authorities are dealing from the point of view of the process. They are restricted of such legislative frame because if they will make the result, but without the procedure, they can have some kind of responsibility. The thing that I would like to emphasize, everything it's very difficult and they don't have the single decision. And here you join the expertise and everyone proposes their own decision. And together we can make such a shelter. And here community has found the land which can be creation and the common sector, and you have the decision coordination of all actors, the transit center. And thank you for the response. Thank you very much for your sharing. And the time flies, and we will move on, and we will. And we will move to the third bullet about this to the resources, and then invite Anna Smakula, the project manager of Crimsos. Greet everyone one more time. My name is Anna Smakula. I represent Crimsos NGO, and before we will start to communicate about this topic for fundraising for small initiative organization. First of all, I would like to emphasize and explain that the experience is in cover of small initiative and such organization which don't have experience, and our task is to help them. Corresponding to the things that I will say will be based on our experience of support of such initiative. Okay. So the question is, and generally, when I was invited to this discussion, I was asked about the sustainability and about the state program for small organization. And generally, it's not new that the main resource of nation is a donor state and business and donates, and as well social enterprise, because it's more difficult. Donors, of course, for small organization is always priority. It's more simple, more it's a better experience. And the state is for strong, because many organizations face things that they're not ready to such documentation, processing, criteria. Business needs a lot of competition and a lot of attention. So wins the one who is able to do it, and the one who can work in public way and donates. It's of course for those one who has so basic offense and who can do. I think the creative content to involve such content and social enterprise, and one of the most difficult way about one for the long term, because the need for big quantity of time and resource to launch it and to take it, and additionally to develop. And the reality is such as that sustainable financing, it's illusion. And I will share with you not very good. We don't have enough sustainable development because everything is changing, and you should get adapted to all of this. We talk about from hard skill to soft skill, and we need to the policies and the approaches concerning the spread of this. And as we have seen during 2 years, the situation can be changed, and how we can work with a small initiative, the sustainability. It's a process, it's not the condition, and it calls for constant resources to have a constant condition. It's impossible to watch a grant one time, and I would like to say about such things, such fuck-ups. I would like to such a small organization which work locally. For example, so it's a good instrument to launch the finance for small organization locally from local budget. As we had the work with such initiative to give such work in different regions, they overcome all of the bureaucracy, come for all bureaucracy procedure, and it was this means the financing was reduced, and this useful work has become more than nominal. But it's such a case that you couldn't expect only for such things that it will solve the problem which is critical for such organization, but from good things they learned how to follow this procedure. And this is another program. It's a program from a local budget. We also have been working with such organizations for them to perform such work. And it was very nice together with employment center. And they were ready to do everything and provide the services. And the last moment, they give such help the people for volunteers, and they give and just when they talking that it will be last moment, it was told that we don't work on weekend, and you need to have inspectors to provide the assessment, and so it means they are not able to provide such services. Another social services, it's like a vivid example with a small initiative, it's a small way. And we had some case when organization has performed all social action is responded to this criteria. At the end of the year, when they had to get compensation of such amount, it was not enough money in the budget of this community, and no one has compensated this money. And as a case of social services, many organizations after year 2022 has registered as a provider of service. We have the of such organizer when the sector of the executor, as it was revealed, plenty of them were not aware that after year 2002 they became the provider due to simplified procedure. They had to respond it's an unstable situation. For example, I would rephrase sustainability, because we have some but we don't have such way out initiative. It's the same dynamic, and I would say it would be good for such to learn on such services. And you will ask me again, what kind of way out, what thing we will recommend, and how we will work. And we ask them to use, it's not secret, it's a basic for work of all of the state, it's a diversification of the resource. We need to launch different ways of finance. It will look a little bit like this, but it will be very good to how to learn in different cases of state program, to launch a business. It looks like this. But it looks like this, that it's a context of community. Is choose one of some kind of Spider-Man and walks like it is, and they face that it's not enough, and the resource of some superhero will be out of. You need to diversify such resources, and we plan. We will work with such initiative. I have successful cases which are working, which we recommended for the NGOs. First of all, is social entrepreneurship. First of all, if we have some resource and possibility, it would be good to have some additional source of support. And this is such a mistake. There's some social entrepreneurship like product. As always, you often can provide some services, for example, knowledge or the same experience, or use some kind of professional trade. It's also the good product. It's non-material, and it's very simple in material things. It's about non-material things, about we have this topic is but would like to pay attention from another point. It's a thing Krimsovsky made a survey about some initiative that what kind of instrument, what kind of work, and one of this interesting analytic conclusion that absolute organization in our platform and which was grant with employment, or with self-provision, livelihood, as we say. They have done it the first time. It's not occasionally, because it's a second step to recovery and to the respond. And I would like to say with this example, we recommend of organization and initiative in the context of we have launched, we can what they can see in their own community, to solving not only the problems that we have today, but tomorrow's problem. And first of all, it will help to get prepared to them and to think better the idea and realize it. And the second thing, such grant in the difficult thing, it's more long-term, because you cannot employ everyone. It can be project for a year, for two. It's only the example, but it seems that, in my opinion, it would be good to watch it. So it would be good tomorrow. We should pay attention for a short-term planning or iteration from our it only confirms the fact will not work for small level of small NGOs. They can be very good on papers. It will not work for we talk about local initiative. It's a way to nowhere. As the example, a lot lot of respondents that long-term strategies and the practice really don't work, and we decide to make the instrument to test it in this year with a local initiative to provide the strategy point for half a year. It's very short term, but due to the result, the majority of things that they have prescribed has worked, and it's more in such dynamic. It's more about small initiatives and small activities. I would like to pay attention to switch to short distance in the planning matter. And the last thing, it's not new thing. And I would say that we follow big way after the first mission, and we would before year 2022, but we can come to this as a consortiums for small initiative. It's very good, especially when it's one network and when they work in one cluster and one region. It works very good, and we have already seen that some kind of organization started to join together and apply for grant together, spreading some pool of liabilities, some liabilities, and it worked. That's Mrs. Anna, and such a good example. I provide you to come to the question. And do you have question to Mrs. Anna? I don't have questions. Thank you very much. The presentation will also be sent to everyone, all the participants, and I know that you have online. We also have one speaker. Thank you. And now we will talk about the state strategy, about the community, the role of community in the sphere of protection. Olga Ivanova, about charity fund stabilization support services. Thank you very much. Do you hear me? Very pleasant to hear her. It's very, it's a lot of good cases. We work with, do you know, you was an audience, I would ask who read it, who read it about the strategy in order to be able to talk about this. Maybe if you are familiar and you work with it, you can raise your hand. We don't have risen hand, so we can move on. It's only confirm my hypothesis, because I live on the event with young people that we have working duty with advocates, and I asked many people, have you done something due to this strategy? Maybe you have some plans, project. We never cross between each other. And when I get ready, when I started to get prepared, I understood that it's some kind of mistake, because all of us have been working with all of this. All of communities that we are working with is about such. I don't have plenty of time. I can be familiar with this because it's very good document for the context. About the strategy, there is no such word as we have a connection about the human right, about We hear you, but we have interruption in the communication. Continue. You can hear me? Yes. Do you hear us? So, my strategy, maybe some kind of delay. Good connection with Olga. Maybe we'll without camera. It's better. We hear you. We don't remind about protection and strategy when talk about protection. We talk about protection, the task for society in context of human rights. The strategy, it's about the protection, it's about the regulations of them. With more practical sense. It's we talk about such about social services, the combat of discrimination, work with vulnerable group, and what about and what about so now community is the center of development of civil society concerning the protection. The strategy itself it covers year 2021-26, and we have year 25, and I think at the end it'll be interesting to watch the result, and I think that the thing that we cross a lot is a consultative advisory institution. We have some priority about the development of and now colleague reminded the Council of IDP in this context how they represent the interest of IDPs because they have society. When you have representative in such a strategy, they have the implementation of such strategies. What thing can you say? The community has such instruments of local democracy. I think that we know the cases where we use it, when you don't use it, where you don't. When you use and it's need for a lot of resources. It's a public consultant. It's opening of open, and you can last for months of communication, and there's not enough awareness of how it's important, how you need it. And maybe we have some experience from Euromaidan when such instruments were abused to confirm some initiative which were about some interest of some separate group of people or some other interest, and the trust was lack of trust of this in format of Council of IDP, open session, creation of some initiative group which could advocacy of IDPs, and people have a fear, would like to, I believe that how it will work, it will be very actual, and we have, due to our experience, we have the experience when we have
there are many cases when our specialists join the budget strategies on the level of communities, as well as involving IDPs to discussing problems and to employment processes, to enhance their employment and to satisfy different social programs as well, in case they need specific programs for IDPs, and generally, as every tool, much depends who uses it and where there is a need to use it. And here are the representatives of partnership organizations. They are interested in the process. We communicate with them as well as with the representative of youth organizations. And we should develop this strategy of cooperation because there is much human resources. They are interested as well in working on the strategies. So generally, these are the dialogue places for different representatives of Hromada, and much depends in what direction they are moving. All the NGOs, they use such tools. They only pick up what is specific for their work. And I see that we are a bit pressed in time, but some technical moments, some cuts of electricity, probably you have some questions to me to comment on, taking into consideration the context. We proceed working. Again, would like to address to our audience, are there any questions to the speaker? Ms. Oля, I think that it's okay. Thank you for sharing this tool, and we make the conclusion that we should revise in detail the strategy and to find out the points which are important for the working of every organization. Thank you that in spite of different complexities you share with your experience. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you, participants. Thank you for your active participation, for your openness and for inclusiveness. The work in this section demonstrate how important the work of community is to enhance protection mechanisms. We actually agreed that the participants facilitate social structure of community, providing bridging gaps in the access to services. Thank you to every participant, for speaker, for inspiration. Thank you for your expertise. It helps us to understand how local NGOs are connected with state strategies and how communities may become a real partner in protection cluster. And I wish everybody to proceed working on it with the trust of local decision. Only together we may satisfy changes which will be felt on the level of every community, of every person. So thank you to everybody. See you. Thank you, Mrs. Olga. Thank you for your active participation. Dear participants, for your questions. We are approaching the final element 1410. And at 1410, I'm waiting for you here. And we will prepare to the finalizing. We will come up with the final elements. We will have common photo, and then we will proceed with lunch. See you in 6 minutes. See you in 6 minutes. I think that the majority return, and people who have been communicating are here. Today I was with you for a very long period of time in different sections at the panel discussion. And I saw that you were dedicated, that you really think about how to develop your communication with partners. And I appreciate that you have been staying focused. Your colleagues were the moderators of the different sections, and they prepared the final text, which is my honor to read, and I will start. Our forum is called Where Protection Begins and Ends. And at the beginning, I said that the mechanism is constantly working with dedicated people, with those who are law-oriented, and it looks like Forum proved it. Humanitarian support, as well as the sectors of protection, humanitarian protection, focus on evacuation, and it is connected with the social services provided, with legal services provided, and to obtain foundation funds for devastated housing. During panel discussions, communication, we may make following conclusion. The state is responsible for humanitarian reaction and to support people who suffered from war. Take it into consideration this fact: the state is responsible for coordination and of humanitarian sector. The readiness of the state should be a trigger for transferring process onto better level if we have constant needs of people who need, and the cooperation needed between state and the NGOs, and we need a platform where the stakeholders meet each other and can further the activities. The budgeting should be foreseen and should cover administrative and institutional constituent, both for international and national organizations. Along with it, we should remember that the state and stakeholders are responsible before people to whom they are provided assistance. Their needs should be transparent according to the policies, according to the support, which should be based on such needs. During the conditions of war, when we have a limited access to people, the trust to results depend not on the scale but on the quality of the process provided. We see that the common standards, transparency, capacity of community are the key points. Along with it, we should take into consideration that the attention should be paid to the protection of community, because it makes possible to provide people with a separate protection tools. Legal assistance is a key point here, both during the reaction on crisis and on solution making. But humanitarian actors, we may have a larger view and systematically involve free legal assistance, again, as non-traditional stakeholders, companies which are interested in cooperation with the strong stakeholders, and student environment. The integration of IDPs moves ahead on holistic support and the social services provided. It makes possible for a person to pass his or her way. Along with it, community and states constantly prolong with the implementation of the approaches and integration of IDPs into society. Take it into consideration the data from different parts of life. During humanitarian reaction, we should remember about vulnerable people, older people, children who need this social care and support during evacuation period. In childhood support, the states start to build a framework, develop legal assistance as a reaction as challenges to people strategies. But we have underfinancing and under budgeting here on the level of local budgets, and we view the crisis here and in different services, and it makes complexities in crisis situations. We also remember about veterans, who should be provided help as well, both by state and by NGOs. Professional officers is a very important constituent of protection. The investments into the situation makes it possible to become the reaction more effective. Please take care about yourself. Thank you for your attention. We will finish our forum, and I hope you are inspired by fruitful discussions, by energetic discussions. You become more resilient, and thank you for your attention. Thank you to the team of simultaneous interpreters who have been working and as well as I appreciate gratitude to the organizers of this event, a linguistic company which supports with microphone, with sound, with other gadgets, because this is a real care for us. As to Sergei Korovainy, a great appreciation, and to Sumsky Transit Center to be virtual visitors for us to better understand people who need. Thank you, and I again ask everybody to take a common photo. Please help people with chairs, and please come to me